Look at this. Hi. Been a bit quiet this week, partly because I've been so busy, but also because I've had a touch of man flu, which apparently somebody said to me it was in the Sun newspaper a while ago, that it's a recognised illness, so it must be true. But it hasn't finished me off. I'm just thinking the Sun wouldn't lie. We all know that. But yeah, I'm back. Actually, I was going to say I'm back on my feet, but I haven't been off my feet. I've been really busy, and a lot of the work that I've been doing over the last few weeks is going into schools and doing some work with 14-year-olds, which is quite tough, around mental health and explaining to them that we've all got mental health. It's just the same on a par with physical health, and explaining to them that there's a big difference between mental health and mental illness. But it was really interesting, the dynamics for me. Actually going back into a school, I found really nerve-wracking. It was really, I had a bit of a build-up to it, which I was really surprised at, because I deliver lots of training, mainly to doctors, nurses, business people, self-defense seminars, martial arts people. But going back and standing in front of groups of, they were averaging around 40 14-year-olds, boys and girls. The last couple of schools was just boys. I actually found really nerve-wracking, which surprised me. But I've called this little video "I'm in with the in crowd" because just observing these kids as well, it was really interesting how when they were all together in groups, I'm sure you can imagine what it was like at times. It was getting a bit giggly, they were messing about. But interestingly enough, after we'd finished doing our talk, and I'm saying we because I brought a student with me to each talk who'd experienced some type of mental illness when they were at school. So they gave a talk on what they experienced and how they dealt with it, which was really powerful. But it was interesting watching the dynamics of all of these kids, because while they were all together, they were at times messing about and giggly, which I understand. You just got to work with it. I would have been exactly the same. But afterwards, how many of them came up and spoke to us, one by one, individually. And I just thought, even at 14, they're just smaller versions of us. And the reason that we're so giggly and we're trying to, I guess what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to cut to the chase and keep this short. For me, the thing that came out yet again was about fitting in. And it took me all the way back to being at school, and in the playground, and wanting to fit in with everybody else and be liked by everybody else, and how important that is and how important it was, and the things that we do to fit in. I've said before, you get the jokers who try and make everybody laugh, the people who maybe buy people with sweets and things like that, the tough guys, the bullies, but all just trying to fit in their own way. And that's what really fascinated me about going into schools again and doing this teaching. Lots of different things came up for me. Like I said, I'm used to teaching these days doctors, nurses, business people, and to go and teach 14-year-olds was actually quite scary. It went down well, they really liked it, but it brought up lots of stuff for me. But like I said, what I wanted to talk about here was really the fitting in bit and how important that is. And even as adults, it's still important. We still want to be liked. We still want to fit in. And I just thinking to myself, how good would it be to lose that and not really be bothered what people think about you? And I know that might sound selfish, but when I don't mean don't care, because it's good to care about people. I'm a rescuer, I care about people, I love people, but almost getting to that place where, I'm happy with who I am, and it doesn't matter whether people like me or not, that's okay. And it doesn't matter if I fit into your group or don't fit into your group. Do you know what? That's okay. And I really would have loved to have somehow found a way of getting that message across to these kids today. Be yourself. The people who are meant to like you will like you, and the people who, there's going to be people out there that don't like you no matter what you do anyway. And this massive insecurity about having to fit in with a group. And if we look at society, I've said this before, you know, the people that didn't really care about fitting in, sometimes they became a threat to society and they were bumped off. You know, people like Martin Luther King, Jesus, Gandhi, all those people that, you know, people loved them anyway, but, you know, they were a threat to main sort of stream society. So I'm going off on one here, but that's the message that I really want to get across today, and it really hit me again in you know, being around school kids for the last couple of weeks, just watching them, how important it is for them all to fit in and be part of the group, and it just made me think that even as adults, you know, quite often we're still the same. We all have our little groups and our little friendships, and we want to fit in, and I get that that's important, but just went off then. But I want to get to that place where you know, I like who I am, and I think I'm getting there. And I hope that other people like who I am, but if they don't, that's okay. Like these video clips, you know, I'm saying what's on my mind, and some people will like it and some people won't, and that's okay. And that's the message for today. Have a good weekend, and hopefully we'll get some more video clips done next week. Like I said, I've just been really busy. I was trying to keep tomorrow free, but it's actually filling up for me as well. So, but it was good. It's a good thing. So have a good weekend, and hopefully speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.